Hi everyone. Um, if you're new to this channel, my name's Aaron, and this is actually a follow-up vlog video. And it's a follow-up to my previous one, which is the vlog about the death of Sushant Singh Rajput. Actually, I was debating whether or not to make this, only because I don't know if you guys would want to hear me talking, or if you're just here in my channel because of reactions, but I feel like I should make this. I feel like I want to make more vlogs dealing with important topics, and hopefully you guys would be interested in it, but I feel like I need to talk about this. First of all, rest in peace Sushant Singh Rajput, and sending my love, prayers, and thoughts to your family, friends, and everyone that is affected. And in my previous video, I mentioned about depression, how depression's real, and I was about to talk about my own story, but I stopped myself because I didn't feel it's appropriate to talk about my own story when that video was about Sushant. And now that I'm making this video, I feel like I want to talk about depression and how it's a very real thing. I want it to be real. Depression is not all about sadness. Let me just say that. It's not all about sadness. People think that depression is just extreme sadness, and that's not true. So if ever you want someone to talk to, and you don't feel like you have anyone to talk to, you can talk to me. You can message me. I want to leave this space as a space where anyone can talk about anything. No judgment. Oh, depression's a real thing. I was actually looking at the photos of Sushant Singh Rajput's body, and I don't know why. I don't know what in me prompted to look at the photos, because when I was looking online, the articles, and looking at videos on YouTube, I saw on the thumbnail's there, and I see pictures of it. Call it morbid curiosity. I clicked to enlarge the photo. I was really emotional, and it's just curiosity, and it was terrifying. If you haven't seen the photos yet, I don't know if you want to look at it. You can if you want to. It's there, but it's not creepy sad. It's just really sad. If someone was there, if someone was just said hi, and or talk to him, or made sure he was okay. Ugh. Looking at his photos, it just makes me so sad, because he must have been in so much pain at whatever that's going on in his life to go through with this. The only reason why someone would go through with this is because they're bottling up something that's deep inside. And depression is not all about extreme sadness. It's not. But it is something that's extreme, and it's not something that's so simple to explain. It's not something that's just an on and off switch. It's something that's very complex. It's very individual, and it's very real. I was watching his interviews recently, and his recent interviews, he seemed like he was okay. He was well spoken. He was smiling. He was, it was someone that looked like they had a great future. A great future. He was a big star in Bollywood. And when I look at that picture of after he committed, I don't want to say the word, But after he committed that, when I looked at his picture of his body, I don't see the same person. I don't see the same person. I see someone who was dealing with a lot of pain or a lot of something. But that's the thing about depression. It is a silent killer. It is a very deadly silent killer. And you never know if someone is going through depression. I don't even know if I wanted to talk about it, my own. The thing is, I wasn't even diagnosed with depression. I didn't have enough money to see a therapist. And also, even if I had money, I was at that time really just ashamed of even going to a therapist, because I didn't want to have that stigma attached to me about, oh, he's the guy, he needs help, he's special. Another reason why I didn't want to seek help, professional help, is also because depression, to me at least, when I was going through that time, was seen as a sign of weakness. Especially since, for guys, at least. For guys. And, this goes along with how I felt about my body. How there's constant comparisons to all these buff, macho guys don't speak their emotions, because if they speak their emotions or cry, they're weak, and it's a sign of weakness. And, that's the thing that I was always constantly playing in my mind. I didn't want my parents to know about it too. I didn't want anybody to know about, the thing I was going through. Back then, when I was going through a really rough patch, of course I was sad, but I was more so numb. I was just unmotivated to do stuff. And, I was really skinny. I didn't eat. I had a lot of things going on with me. One of them is my body. I was constantly told I was just really skinny. And I compared myself too much. Let's just say that. I compared myself too much to unrealistic expectations. And, for girls, it happens a lot. For guys, when you're skinny, you have all these images of really big, buff men and all those expectations from families and friends. I was also, I didn't come out of the closet yet. I didn't tell anyone I was gay. Dealing with just hiding about myself, my identity. It was me having no job. And then it was pressure around friends and family. These are just stuff that I was dealing with all at once, all together. And it's just comparisons to other people, like having people compare you to other people, and then implying that you're not as good as them. Over time, I just went past being sad, and because I was just sad for a long time, and I just eventually became numb. Why do I feel like this? It just doesn't feel like it's worth it. I became numb, and I remember one time. Oh my god. I remember one time, and everyone was outside of the house. They were away, and my parents were also out. They just left. And I went to the car. The garage doors were closed. And everything was closed. The doors to the house, the garage doors, the car doors. I went inside the car, and I had the keys to the car, and I had them next to me. I knew going through with the action of harming myself, turning on the car with every doors closed. You know where that leads to. And I knew where it was going to lead to. I knew it was bad. I knew I had, I knew I had more to live for, and I still was sitting in the car with the keys right next to me. It was just really scary. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know how to do it. Obviously, I didn't go through with it. I was listening to music because I just wanted to sit and think. I wanted to sit and think, and somehow one of my favorite songs came on, and it sounds so stupid, but it was Pocket Full of Sunshine from Natasha Bedingfield. And it was a long time ago, it was one of those songs where it just puts you in a good mood. And when I was listening to that song, I was just like, what am I doing? What am I doing for my life? Like, why am I going through... Oh, sorry, I'm shaking right now. I don't want to say that I was depressed, because I wasn't really officially diagnosed with depression. But this is just my story close to it. Depression is not about extreme sadness. One of the common misconceptions about depression, and they think people just think it's just an on and off switch. Just be happy, go outside, do this, do that. You'll be happy, and you don't have to be depressed. And I'm not offering like medical advice or anything. I'm not a trained professional. But this is just my story, and I just want to let people know that this is an open space to tell your story. If you're going through something, talk to people. Don't be afraid to talk to people. And like I said, continue on with my story, the song Pocket Full of Sunshine by Natasha Bedingfield came on, and I just, for some reason, it was that song at that moment. It just made me feel a little warm inside, and it just made me don't want to go through with anything. Don't want to go through with whatever I was thinking about. But the fact that I was even sitting in the car with the keys, with all the doors closed, even though I knew it was wrong, it's almost like I was going through with it. And that's the scary part. Because, looking back at it, it feels like it's a little thing, It feels like it's a little thing because I didn't go through with it. It's my story, and I know it's like the most pathetic story. I don't want to say, well, no stories are pathetic. I don't want to say any stories are pathetic. It's just my story, but I know that there are stories out there. I know that there are stories from you guys worse than mine. Please, if you need someone to talk to, just talk to someone. Talk to me. Talk to your parents. Talk to your friends. If you don't have anyone to talk to, or if you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to me. I want to provide this space as a space where you can talk freely and openly about your stories, And like I said, during that dark time, I was still having fun with my friends, See, the thing is, this is complicated because for those who are not officially diagnosed with depression, I don't want to say that I'm a medical expert on depression because I felt these or I showed the common symptom. Depression is real. Depression is a real thing. It's a silent, deadly killer. And the fact that everyone is shocked about it, when you look at his interviews, when you look at his talks in his movies, and the way he talks and speaks, when you see him on screen, you would never know. You would never know. And that's the reason why so many people are shocked. And it's not a simple topic to talk about, but it's a very necessary topic to talk about. And I believe that we should be talking about it. There's so many layers to depression, It's not just an on and off switch, like I said before. It's a very complex topic, It's not just a simple feeling. It's something that's mental. You know, it's something that's mental, and people should be talking about it and start a conversation about it. Don't be afraid to start a conversation about it. Anyways, I don't even know if I'm boring you guys right now, but that's just a little bit about my life, or about my story, you know, at least about, you know, the time I almost did it. This is a safe space for people to, you know, tell about your story. Please, I mean, I would like to know you're not alone, you know? I think the death of Sushant Singh Rajput has affected a lot of people, and has shocked a lot of people, and it has saddened a lot of people. So I'm just gonna end it here, because I don't want to bore you guys. These are my thoughts. This is my vlog and thoughts about this whole situation and my story. Hopefully you guys would have the courage, or, you know, to just share your story if you have one. Okay, thanks. Bye.